Here we are, the final issue of this incredible crossover. I'm a little sad that this is the end. But who knows? If My Little Pony and Transformers could get a second miniseries, maybe Back to the Future and Transformers could too. Perhaps to promote a possible steam train time machine Transformer too? But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get started with the fourth and final issue of Transformers Back to the Future. Picking up from where the last issue left off, our heroes are surprised to learn that the clock tower itself is actually a Decepticon in disguise, which, according to the comics roll call, is simply named Watchtower. An apt name, I suppose. The Autobots hold off Watchtower as Doc fixes Gigawatt's time circuits. Sadly, Bumblebee is obliterated by the giant Decepticon, who then targets Doc and Marty. But Gigawatt shields them from the blast with his body, heavily damaging him. His time circuits are still intact though, but he can't pick up enough speed to get to 88 miles per hour. Fortunately, Skills and Doc give him the push that he needs, much like the train in Part 3. Man, Skills is one strong little mini-con. With Rodimus crushed underfoot, it's all up to Marty, Gigawatt, Doc, and Skills, the latter of which sacrificed themselves in order to get the former back to 1985. Gigawatt and Marty attempt to stop Rumble, but the heavily damaged Autobot and human prove to be no match for the small Decepticon. However, our unlikely hero Biff saves them with Doc's ionic nullifier. But that last shot was its last. Rumble goes to wake up the other Decepticons, but he's in for a surprise, as apparently Gigawatt and Marty already woke up the Autobots. And Rumble is crushed by his own Energon stockpile, which has his name on it for some reason. But sadly, this is the end of the road for my boy Gigawatt. Aww. Marty takes the original time machine back to 2015, where everything seems to be back to normal. Doc and Skills are alive, as are Bumblebee and Rodimus Prime, who now seems to be Hot Rod instead. I guess because Optimus Prime is still alive, he didn't need to become Rodimus Prime. And joyously, it seems that Gigawatt is okay too. It looks like the Autobots were able to save him after all. And now, Biff is a good guy and their mechanic friend, similar to Sparkplug in G1. Marty, Skills, and Gigawatt return to 1985, where his parents gift him with the truck that he had in the movie. Everything seems to have turned out perfectly for Marty. That is, until we zoom in on the truck's badge, and discover that it is actually a Decepticon in disguise. With this comic ending with the end? ? So does this mean that there could be another Transformers and Back to the Future miniseries after all? I guess we'll just have to wait and see what the future has in store for us.
But what does that mean?
It means your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one. Both of you.
Wow, what an amazing crossover. Once again, I loved all the references to both Back to the Future and Transformers in this comic. For example, when Gigawatt and Marty finally travel back to 1985, he loses his license plate, which is an homage to the first movie when the DeLorean first travels back in time. If I had one question/complaint about this issue, it's where is Jennifer? At the end, the comic mirrors the first movie, where Marty gets his new truck. In the movie, Jennifer arrives to greet him, but in this comic, she's not there. In my opinion, she should have been with Marty as he drives off in his new Decepticon truck. I hope that if or when there is a new crossover miniseries sequel, they work Jennifer into the story. That's one of my minor complaints about the movies. Jennifer doesn't really get much to do. I think she spends more time sleeping than actually doing anything else. Whereas I would love to see her take a more active role in Marty's time-traveling adventures. After all, she is basically the Carly to Marty's Spike. I'd love to see her get a bigger part in the next crossover, if there is one. And I really, really hope there is. Come on, Hasbro. You've got so many toys to make now. I need a Skills figure, both in his regular skateboard and hoverboard forms, a Titan-class Watchtower Clock Tower figure. Okay, well, I'll settle for a Commander figure if you can't do Titan-class. And of course, we need a Decepticon figure of Marty's truck. Which now makes me wonder, who sold Marty's parents a Decepticon in disguise? Maybe it was Swindle? Hey, there's a free idea for you, IDW. Go ahead and use it in the next issue if you want. Just make sure you put in a little Easter egg of yours truly. Aw, wouldn't that be amazing? I think I would literally die if I made it into a Transformers and Back to the Future comic. Again, as both a huge Transformers fan and Back to the Future fan, this was the comic book crossover of my dreams. And the only thing better would be if this was a cartoon or something with the original actors reprising their roles. Thank you so much for joining me on this ride. Be sure to let me know down in the comments what you thought of this crossover between two of my favorite franchises. And what do you hope that they do in the next crossover, if there is a sequel to this one? Don't forget to like, share, ring the bell, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you back here again for more Transformers and Transformers crossover reviews.